Hello everyone, Strikoder here and welcome back to a new episode of the Penetration Tester aka PT1 exam prep. In this episode we're gonna solve Blink Machine. Even though I've got my PT1 exam and I'm currently officially PT1 certified, however I'm gonna keep solving PT1 exam path and I'm gonna add some new rooms into that path. So let's just get started. I'm gonna take the IP, I'm gonna connect to TryHackMe. So if you are new to my videos, TryHackMe command is just under the hood sudo VPN connect to connect me into the TryHackMe servers, and I'm gonna ping the machine. Still not connected. Let me check. Can I go to Google at least? Yeah. And now I have the internet. Okie dokie. So I would always start by Rust scan. However, that's not always recommended at the exam because you might miss some open ports. Because here the command is searching for open ports, then passing the open ports to nmap, which Rust scan might miss some ports due to its configurations. Over here we see the open ports are 22, 80, 306 and 5038. So 3306 probably SQL, and let's check the website. So I was about to stop the nmap, but okay, it's finished already. Let me check the website. So here we see Magnus billing, and let me try anything. Log in. Maybe forgot your password. We need to enter an email, abc@gmail.com. However, it seems we can here search for the emails that are included within the program and make enumeration. In a real-time scenario, you would include that as a val, but here we are not vulnerability program, it's just CTF, maybe SQL over here. Don't think so. Maybe templates, something related to that. Still nah. Okay, we are blocked. So let's read our nmap first. So here we see Apache HTTPD, and here we see Magnus billing. So maybe that's something we can search on the internet. I'm gonna search here within Linux, Magnus billing. So maybe that's a framework. So we see it's free billing, open source. So probably there are some exploits here and there, over here and there. Let me type exploit, and here we see an exploit 2025. Maybe we can use that to exploit our server. Here we see 2023. However, we can refer back to our room. Let's see, currently it's 2025, so it was out around 2023. So probably that's our way into the machine. So here they are telling us 6.x, 7.x, allow remote attacker. So yeah, that's our way in most of the time. In the CTFs, we need to get an RCE. So let me get back here and type search exploit. So most of the time you would start by search exploit, then move to the Google browser and search on the internet. So I'm gonna type search exploit Magnus billing. So here we see a command injection, and within multiple web apps. Let's read that. So I'm gonna copy that, -m to copy that, and type the number, and I'm gonna get that. So here we see proof of concept. We make a request to the IcePay, then democ test file, and then ID that into the injected text. Okay, let's try that. I'm gonna open Burp and proxy our traffic to Burp through Foxy proxy. However, somehow it doesn't want to run. Okay. Next, startup. And here is our Burp. Okay, let me intercept our traffic. I'm gonna forward all of these, probably related to Google. And let me over here make a refresh. So here is our traffic. I'm gonna forward now one by one. Here we see something like related to mbilling index.php. Here is an API, I believe, a check. And here we're reading something. I don't believe they are vulnerable to anything like LFI or something, because it's related to the framework. It's not hard-coded. So I believe our IB is blocked. No, we're fine, I believe. Okay, so I'm gonna make a refresh. And here we see our mbilling. So I need a request to our lib library. I don't think there is kind of request. Let me try by signing in. Still nothing. However, I'm gonna copy that from here. Let me refresh that again. So I'm gonna take this request, send it to the repeater, and from here I'm going to copy this. And actually, instead of just copying that, I'm gonna copy this request. And oops, I meant to get this request to test out if the application is vulnerable or not. So what we are doing here, I'm taking the get from the link over here. You can curl that, but I prefer to use burp. And we are going to this specific path. I believe we can reach that from the browser. Let me try over here. So we are testing, no rush. It's not an exam test. It's just a CTF. So yeah, we are controlling and injecting our payload into this ICPHP. So let me get back to here. And we are giving this parameter to dev null, then sleep for a bit of time. Let me put that over here and delete this. So since we have our cookie over here, let me try. So it's sleeping for 5 seconds. Yep. So here we can see timeout 5 seconds. Let me check. Nah, that's keep alive. It's not related, but if you can see, if I switch that to 4, the response is taking too much time. Okay, so it's vulnerable. What can we do now? So we can switch our sleep command with any other command. For instance, I have this that I always use in such cases, which is URL encoded. Netcat to the bin bash and a reverse shell to our IB. However, in my case, I'm not gonna use that. I want to explore the other solutions that we can use in order to exploit that. So let's search. Okay, Give me a minute. Okay, so let's search on GitHub if we can see any other vulnerability or exploit code. Magnus billing. So you'd usually Google GitHub code. Exploitation is not correct. Okay. Don't mind me. English is my fifth language. Okie dokie. So contributing, feature, usage. So we just make a netcat and we run our exploit. And it's a Python code. Let me check. So under the hood, what it's doing. Here we see the reverse shell, adding arguments, exploit. So it's basically using the same thing. Let me check if there is in MSF anything related to Magnus in Metasploit framework. I know if you are preparing for OSCP, you would usually run away from Metasploit. However, you can at most use Metasploit on a standalone machine. So it's better not to forget about Metasploit at all. You can use it from time to time. In our case, we explored the other ways other than Metasploit, how to exploit this vulnerability. Let's search on Metasploit for now. Search Magnus. And here we see probably the same vulnerability. I have, I believe, updated Metasploit a while ago before the beta 1. So probably the 2025 is not included in the Metasploit yet. By 2025, I don't know if in the future will that vulnerability be over here. So let me use 0 show option. Before show options, I like always to set lhost as our tunnel and set grhost. I believe hosts with s, this, and set g lhost 4444 and show options for now. So I don't believe we need to set anything else. Let me run that. And hopefully I'm gonna get a interpreter. I'm gonna pause a little bit. Without pausing, I believe we're finished. So till interpreter doing its stuff, please guys, don't forget to leave a like and hit the subscribe button if you like my content, and in order to be notified whenever a video is out. So usually I publish and post videos on Sundays and Tuesdays. Somehow I always manage to do that, and I would have some free time to publish on Thursdays as well. So please try to follow and don't forget to hit the like button. So no session was created. Okay, may require cleanup. So probably we need to run that again. I'm not sure. Let me try and read what it's trying to do. So handler Fail2Ban. Okay. I don't know why. So checking if 10, 10, 14, 30 can be exploited. So it's using the 80. I don't believe we have the 80. I believe we had 80. Let me check. No, the 80. That's weird. We didn't get that. So let's try the GitHub code. Or let me check again. Show options. So lhost and lport 4444. Our port is 80. 10, 10, 14, 130. Let me check and change lhost, set g lport to 1234 and try to run that again. What's happening? Lport, I got that wrong. Let's check. Yeah, if we didn't get that running, we can get back to our GitHub code, or we can curl that or use burp, whatever you like. But I like to show you the Metasploit method. We didn't get a shell. I hope that we are not banned due to our brute forcing. It wasn't brute forcing, we just tried a couple of times. So let me get wget over here and Python 3 exploit py. So here we have an invalid character, maybe Python 2. Nah, still Python 3 maybe. Let me check. Ah, okay, I see why. Oops. We need to download the raw. So I downloaded the HTML page instead of the binary. It's not binary, instead of the script itself. Then now Python 3 exploit.py. So here they're telling us we need arguments t target. Oops, no. Here is the target. Attacker. Let me check our IB. I'm gonna exit and IB crypton 0 1092 121. And the B is gonna be 1234 or 80. Let's try 80. Okay, so targeting that, sending payload. Okay, we had to make our netcat listener. Please send that again. Let me try. Maybe I'm gonna try 1234 over here. Yeah, and now we have a shell. So who am I? Asterisk. So let me get my notes over here. Here are they. So I'm gonna just copy over here. I'm gonna provide my notes in the near future once I organize everything. And over here, I'm just trying to stabilize the shell. I believe for now that's good. We can get, oops, where are we? Let me get that again. And copy the Python. Let me try to stabilize it more by providing this. Yep. So now it's more stabilized, and let me so I believe where is our first flag? User. Cd into users. Oops. I believe home. Yep. and here I believe into Magnus, and here our user flag, get user, if I may type that correctly, and let me copy that. First flag. Second one, so we need to elevate our privileges. Oops. So we need to privilege our to escalate our privileges. So in order to do that, let's try with sudo -l for now. So we have Fail2Ban client. Fail2Ban, it's a popular service, and there are a couple of ways to escalate our privileges. In such case, we can try to see if we have etc fail2ban, oops, cd into etc fail2ban, and I'm gonna see if we have access to all the files. So they are all by root, and we can execute this and this and this. And however, we can get user pin fail2ban by sudo. So we can say, in our case, this command. Oops, let me copy that into here. So I close that. Let me open over here the text editor and make it big. So over here we're making sudo running this binary, which is fail2ban client, and we are setting our SSHD action, the IB tables, multiport action ban, bin bash -c bash, and running this particular IB. So here we are as if trying to ban any SSH with this. So trying to ban SSH connection by our local host. Whenever the SSH is banned, this command is gonna run, which is a bin bash. So instead over here, I'm need just to get our IB 10.9.2.121. Oops. And 121. And let me open a netcat 4445. So as we see here, I'm gonna make this, gonna run this again over here. I'm not sure if that was correctly copied. And let me try to ban the SSH over here. Oops. And here we got our shell as root. What I'm doing. So here we see our root.txt. So that was it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'm gonna try to leave in the description some resources to read about this particular Fail2Ban service. So be sure to read that, and see you next time.